Okay, I am home. I am getting ready to go to Patagonia, to Torres del Paine National Park. Look at this, snowing outside. Snow in Utah, it's October 25th. Great, we're about 6,000 feet here. So yeah, and then up Snowbird's just up the way there, 8,200 feet to the mountains, about 7 miles. But we're heading to Patagonia. It's springtime down there. Keep in mind, on our trip, we stay at what we call Patagonia Base Glamp. And we build the camp ourselves. It has 6-person tents for every 2 people with cots. Sleeping bags are included with towels. It's got men's and women's hot showers and flushing toilets. We have a large space station, mountain hardware dome dining tent with tables and chairs, and a pavilion for meetings with a projection screen and power charging. So this does not include a sleeping bag or things like that. If you're going down to Torres del Paine National Park, a lot of times if you're staying in the refugios, they can include sleeping bags, depends what you set up. But this is for a worldwide trekking trip where we stay in hotels in Puerto Natales before and after. Let's look at the gear, the personal gear that you need to have for Torres del Paine National Park in Patagonia. So I'm gonna have this North Face duffel bag, just a poly duffel bag to put everything in. And then I use these Ditty sacks. These are waterproof ones here, and you can see they're different colors, and that way when I organize my stuff into the Ditty sacks, it's easy to find what I'm looking for. So a couple layers that are really important. I got a really good outer shell layer here, just a really light Gore-Tex shell and shell pants. Super important combination. Then I've got like a hiking layer, a soft shell layer, and then I also bring kind of a puffy with a hybrid sleeve, light sleeve. It's got a hood, so that helps keep me comfortable. And then a kind of just a light jacket shell as well. Then for the bottoms, gonna bring a couple pair of pants. I just bring like a soft shell pant and a pair of khaki kind of pants, another soft shell type pants. I like to bring a pair of sweatpants. Then on the bottoms, I'm gonna bring a pair of just thermal underwear there. I've got a bag here. The purple has all of my socks and underwear in it. I've got sun hat, so ball cap, 2 pairs of sunglasses in the sun case there. Got a warm hat, like just a beanie cap, my headlamp, a neck buff, and a bandana. I've got a couple pairs of gloves. I just bring a little pair of like light gloves like that. And I do bring a little bit pair of shell gloves. Sometimes when we're on the trip, we take ferries across the fjords and lakes, and it can be cool, especially if you want to be outside. Got my trekking poles here, 3-part trekking poles, 1.5 liter Nalgene bottle, and then I use Aqua Mirror to treat my water, and it works out really well. It's a 2-part treatment. Then I've got a few t-shirts that are all poly blend t-shirts, and then a couple of longer sleeve type zip tees and stuff like that, so I can layer up. I do bring a poncho. A lot of times if it's weathery down in Patagonia, the poncho, it's too windy for a poncho. But if somebody got hurt or something like that and they needed to just sit in one place for a while and it was raining, it's a good like emergency shelter. Then as far as my backpack goes, I've got a 40-liter backpack, just a black diamond backpack, but one of the things that's nice to have is a duck's back rain cover for the backpack. Then aside from that, I do have like a pair of pants to wear in the evening around the lodges that can wear to dinner, and then a couple of just shirts and things like that to wear at dinner time. We are lodge based, so it's easy to do laundry if you want. And then for footwear, I bring a pair of just low top hikers, wear around town, wear after hiking and that kind of thing. We are camping a few nights. I do like my Crocs, whether I'm in a hotel and I want to go down in the morning and get some coffee, and then go back up to my room or in the evening, and then of course a hiking boot. The hiking boot, you know, this is kind of a soft top on this with a leather bottom. Vibram soles, always good, really good and important. You can see both of the shoes have Vibram soles. Good tread on there in case it's windy and muddy. In all of my shoes, I always put some shopping bags. So when they get muddy, I can put them in shopping bags. When I put them back into my duffel bag, shopping bag right here. This one has its own case here, so shoes don't get my other stuff all dirty. I do have a pretty good first aid kit because I'm guiding, and as well I'll bring some radios for the guides and then some travel locks there. So that's about it. Try to keep it as condensed as possible. Try to minimize the amount of things. What I find when you go on trips that oftentimes when you're hiking, you have the stuff that you hike in, and then in the evening you let that air out and dry out. You have a couple changes of that. But I don't need a different pair of pants every single day. I can wear things multiple times in a row. We can launder things if we have to. I'd rather travel lighter and do a little bit of laundry towards the end of the trip than have extras of everything and just haul all this extra gear around. So really trying to make sure that you have layers, the 4-part layer system, a light layer, to a little bit heavier layer, to a shell layer, hat, gloves, to at least cover your skin and hands. It's not terribly cold, but it can dip into the low 40s. You know, any weather can be changing and even, you know, get colder, especially with wind chill. And it can be very windy down in Patagonia. So just making sure that you layer up, pack light as you can. I think that's super important. Be able to layer up, make sure you have, you know, the things you can bring multiples of are like socks and underwear. They're super light anyways, you know, but the shell pants, the shell jacket, a puffy, and then something else to layer. So you could have a t-shirt, a layer, a little puffy layer, and then a shell. So you have 4 layers building out is gonna keep you warm. And then being able to cover your hands and your head. I like hoods because hoods, also, even a hood with a baseball cap is going to keep you really warm. And then you could always put a neck buff on to cover your ears, and then your beanie if you need to. So good variety of stuff. We're going to spend 2 nights in Puerto Natales, and we're going to go up into the park a couple days and come back. And then we move up to our Patagonia base Glamp. We'll spend 3 nights there. We're going to hike up the Gray Valley towards the Gray Glacier. We're going to hike up the French Valley, and we're going to hike up to the Towers Tower Norte. And then we're going to take Zodiacs down the Sereno River all the way down to the bottom, go to the Sereno Glacier. And then the next day we go to an estancia, we do some horseback riding, and then some of the group stays and does an additional day for penguin tours. Others are catching their international departures home. So should be great. We've got 2 groups. My first group has 19 guests and the second has 10. So yeah, it should be good. Looking forward to it. Once again, Puerto Natales, Punta Arenas, Torres del Paine National Park. Here we come.